have the pleasure today to be talking to my fellow Texans here, Kevin Heuer from Ironneck. He's a digital marketing manager there. And then we have Atif Raza. Where are you guys based out of in Texas?
I'm based in Austin. Uh,
I'm also based in Austin.
yeah.
Are you guys part of the nice like hipster part of Austin, at the outskirts, or by like the caves and the lakes? Like where are you guys based out of, like in the Austin area?
But if I'll let you go first.
Dude, I'm based in the caves. I'm all the way north in Cedar Park area. Uh, there's no life here.
I'm in South Austin. Surprisingly, that there originally was no life in South Austin where I am.
Hmm.
But like they're opening up tons of stuff, so it's become very lively in the last like year. So
My big complaint about Austin right now, you guys don't have an international airport, so
oh, it
Yeah.
sucks. It's
kind of
rough.
lame to be, flying local in such a big tech hub.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm originally from New Orleans, and like whenever I go on like an international trip, I'm just driving to New Orleans and flying out from there because it's so much cheaper.
Yeah.
I have to come to Dallas all the time for any flights that I have to take
Oh,
outside
it's rough.
internationally.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Personally, I'm a big Dallas and Houston guy. If I had a choice, I mean, I'm in Dallas myself right now, but if I had a choice, I'd like to be in Houston just because the food scene is actually phenomenal out there.
It's top notch.
But looks like people are rolling in now, so this is great. Awesome. Alrighty, so we're gonna kick it off. Today we're gonna be talking about bridging the gap between community and brand to drive revenue. So what does community mean? I'm gonna be having Kevin really press on what they're doing for IronNet, because what I've seen from their side at Social Snowball, and also through our conversations with Atif at Refunnel, they're doing a lot with UGC creators. They're working with their audience. They're doing so much on these social channels. So I want to start off with the basics, Kevin. So when it came to you initially approaching building a community, how did you start actively getting people to start creating content for you guys? What were the first steps essentially looking like to engage your customers and encourage that participation?
Yeah, so it's initially we weren't making an effort to do so. We had in terms of like UGC and our customers being active and creating content for us. Um, we I think in like 2021 we had a customer uh uh share a video of basically their review saying like I finally found this thing that fixed my neck pain, and uh we went ahead and just ran it as an ad, and it's like our top performing ad still to date. I mean, it's been running since 2021 on and off.
Wow.
It's like our truly our only evergreen. um so that started kind of like this initiative for us to try to generate more UGC, more customer generated content. And Our initial effort there was really just like reaching out and saying, "Hey, we'll give you this gift card if you follow these guidelines and send us this video, and we'll send you like a nice gift card and to our store." And it's worked really well. We've actually like it's been a instead of like a flow, it's been a campaign for us because we just have so much UGC from those efforts that like our creative team can't keep up with it with our other efforts. So yeah, that's initially I would say that's the largest generator of UGC for us. Um, and then of course we also do like influencer seeding and such like that. And we want to make sure that they try the product and use the product before they talk about it. And that results in user generated content as well.
So Iron Neck is an interesting product in the fitness category. It's pretty niche. I wanted to like see if you can explain to the audience like what you guys actually sell, and then from there, how are you identifying the right people to contact to start selling for you?
Yeah, so Iron Neck sells neck strengthening equipment. Um, our hero product is the Iron Neck. It's a like this halo device that um, goes over your head. You attach it to a resistance band,
Hmm.
and you're able to get this 360 rotation. So you're able to hit all of your neck muscles. Um, that's a very short explanation of what the iron neck is. But it does everything from rehabilitate neck pain, improving posture, just growing overall neck strength. Yeah, and also the reason that the founder created the product was to try preventing concussions. So that's another thing that we're able to help with through strengthening your neck. You're able to mitigate the risk of injury. So yeah, that's kind of, we lean into audiences that are trying to do those things. That could be anything from, people who are seeing a physical therapist, people who are actively in sports. A huge market for us over the last few years has been combat sports athletes. And that's also because Joe Rogan got a hold of our product. He loved it. He started talking about it on his podcast. And I mean, he's a jiu-jitsu guy, so yeah, that I would say those are our main markets when it comes to like D2C. We also have B2C as well, or B2B, where we kind of focus on military programs, firefighters, a lot of tactical athletes or tactical professionals. And I mean, the list really does go on, but I would say those are our main ones. And then, of course, as mentioned in the beginning, those football athletes tend to be
I mean,
relatively.
talk a little bit about how the Joe Rogan, shout out happened. Is that something that was planned? Did you seed him the product, and he, happened to love it? I mean, that because I can imagine that would be huge for a business like you. It's such an organic promotion, right? Because he's so much into fitness. So tell me a little bit about how that happened.
It is huge. It is huge for a business like us. We have a sheet running, and this is our CMO Rob, who's got this thing running where he basically has like all the mentions, all the podcast mentions that Joe Rogan has mentioned us, and he keeps track of it. So we have like the average timeline between when he mentions it first and when the last mention was. So yeah, I can't take any credit for the Joe Rogan seeding. That was actually something that happened before my time with Ironneck. What ended up happening is he saw the product on Twitter. He mentioned it. We reached out to him. Our founder, Mike Jolly, went to this like village room basically, and we showed him the product, and we actually got the content of that, which we've been running. I mean, this content is like 360p. It's terrible footage. It's old. It's old footage. It's like maybe, I don't know, four or 5 years old, but it's also one of our top performing ads as well. So yeah, I mean, it's huge whenever he talks about it. It's not something that we paid for. It's completely organic, and I mean, he tends to mention it whenever anybody mentions that they have neck pain. Or I mean, a recent audience that he's brought up recently is like rock stars with their head banging. Something we would have never thought about.
So
But
he's still bringing it up. Is he like getting paid to do this stuff, or this is like Wow.
Wow.
complete, yeah, he just trusts. He loves the product. We've sent him products to share with his audience as well. So like when he has a podcast guest come by, and the Iron Neck ends up coming up in conversation, he'll be like, "Hey, look, I have one. If you want one," and that creates an additional individual in our community who has tried out and succeeded with our product. So
So I
So
want to
Hib,
touch on.
I
Oh,
think this should be one of our life goals, like build B2B software that Joe Rogan shills about
yeah, right.
in his
yeah,
Uh,
podcast.
Hey, I am gonna give a shout out to Nick Sharma. He did mention us in his newsletter, and we did not pay him to do that, so that was pretty sick.
Yeah.
I wanted to touch up on that 360p comment. Okay, so people keep talking on Twitter. This is, or rather X, the D2C X space is always talking about how shitty ads convert. Is that the case here? Because you're saying like 360p, bad video quality, all that stuff, and it's still making you guys money. Are you seeing that across all of your UGC content, or does it vary?
it varies. I wouldn't say like, I know there's a lot of people in our space that say like ugly ads convert better. Um, Obviously in this case we want you to see that it's Joe Rogan, and the ad's pixelated and you can't see that it's Joe Rogan, it's not going to do us much good. It's really
Mhm.
just him using the product. And so I mean, I would say it depends. I think it's more so that the pixelated content or the lower quality results in a more genuine, organic style ad. But that's also it is kind of difficult to recreate that, you know. It almost has to be on accident. It almost has to be like it was obvious that you filmed. I mean, another top performing UGC for us is one of our customers from that effort that I mentioned earlier with the email campaign and the gift card. He's sitting in his car talking about the Iron Neck on his phone, and he's just and like we've tried to recreate it, but we can't. Like it's been difficult for us. So yeah, that's just another thing. It's just the genuine aspect of it. It's organic, and the potential customer trusts that content more so than others. So, but like I said, it's not just because it's an ugly ad, and you can definitely tell that it's Joe Rogan using it too. So
Yeah. Yeah. What are the specific formats typically that you're seeing in terms of this UGC content or content created by, let's say, an influencer? Is it videos, testimonials, reviews? Is it product like, I guess, like day in the life? What have you seen typically for Iron Neck work the best?
I could tell you what we've found not work the best, because
Okay.
all of those things have worked really well for us. What we aim to not receive from our from either our influencer seeding or our UGC strategy is just a video of people using it. While the Iron Egg is definitely a weird looking product and definitely grabs attention, it doesn't do much justice when someone's just using the product. Unlike when you own like a fashion brand or something like that, seeing someone in a product definitely speaks for itself. But I mean, ours just looks like this hat. Oh, I think we lost Atif.
Oh, well, we'll let the show
Well,
go on.
yeah. Yeah. So I would say when people just use our product, we don't get too much value out of that. Hey, he's back. We don't get too much. Oh, you're good. We don't get too much value out of people just using the product and posting it. However, when people are explaining, like, I've tried this thing
Sorry, man.
before, and like I've tried massage guns, I've tried physical therapy, chiropractors, and I finally found this thing. That's a conversation that happens pretty often around our product, and when our potential customers hear that, it relates to them. So that's kind of what we aim for most and find the most impactful. And that kind of just falls into a lot of our overall reviews. So
Yeah, so it's the content that's causing some sort of solution towards a problem, which is typical, right, across
right.
the best performing UGC content. Um, but it's identifying like, hey, look, this person has neck pain, chiropractors haven't solved it, physical therapy, getting freaking cortisone shots in your neck has not worked. Maybe you should start working out. And this is the solution to help you actually work out your neck.
Exactly, and it's an expensive product too. I mean, our AOV is $300. Our main hero product is $600 at retail, and I mean it's expensive, so people tend to hesitate to purchase. So yeah, I mean when our customers are making comments like that on video, it's super helpful because it helps mitigate the objection there.
So one of the things that we've consistently seen with a lot of our brands that use Refunnel is the UGC that comes from customers performs so much better than the rest of the UGC portfolio that they might have that they're using for ads. One of our joint customers, Zohaib Divi, consistently gets a lot of their customers talking and raving about their brand and posting it on their social profiles. And at least 20 to 30% of any number of ads that DB might be running at any point of time would be these like authentic customer testimonials. I wouldn't call them like ugly ads because DB is doing some polish on them before they use it for ads. But the actual authentic asset is sourced from just like having your customers speak very authentically about the benefits of the product that they're getting.
Hey, Kevin,
Exactly.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a trend that I
how
think that
much
we're going to see
polishing are
even
you
more
doing
of
on
as
your
brands
like
lean into
UGC
this
videos and stuff like
anti-AI
after you get them?
trend and just
We're
lean
definitely
heavily
polishing them.
into
So what we do
authenticity.
is in those email campaigns that I mentioned, or even in our most recent seeding initiatives, we've been providing like a brief. So you know, we're telling them, hey, we want a video of you using the product for 1 minute. We want a video of you talking about these things. And yeah, so what we do is we have our creative team go ahead and mash everything together. What we also do is pair them up with successful thumb stops in our advertising, and run those as ads. I think a little less than a year ago. I can't remember the exact date or time, but when we initially ran that email campaign initiative, um, we had like 65 people send in content very, very quickly. Like it was shocking, and we just went ahead and launched everything on our advertising. Same format, maybe like three different
Mm.
styles, plugged in the different pieces of content, and figured out which ones worked. And it was definitely a successful strategy, and we definitely did what we could to improve and optimize those ads over time. But yeah, it's also one of those things where like when you're sharing an ad budget between all these different UGC ads, not all of them get a fair chance to really run. So that's another thing to mention
How
there
are
too.
Kevin, when you're sourcing these ads from or these reviews from your customers,
Yeah, it's a
what
good
does the
question.
incentive for them usually look like? And what
So
does the conversion look like? How
I
many
don't
emails are you sending to your
know how
customers?
many
How much content are you
emails we
typically getting
send
back
whenever
in
we do these.
return?
It's usually around like 1 to 3 emails, depending on how much content we're receiving. So that's that. And then you had another part of that question as well. What was? Yeah, so like a
Mm.
$50 gift card to Iron Neck, which a lot of our products
The
are
like what's the incentive
around
you're
that range or
typically offering
higher.
to your
We don't
customers?
really have anything under that other than like our
Yeah,
apparel or our video content, like our training labs, which don't really have any cogs associated to them except for like the production
yeah.
of those training labs.
Yeah, I think $50 to $100 range is a pretty good sweet spot for an incentive to give to your customers. What you don't want to do is offer no incentive at all. Creating a good video testimonial takes time. It takes like a lot of thinking on the part of the customer as well. So you want them to be incentivized to put that time and energy into creating that content. And what a lot of our brands would
Yeah, I
still
think
do
that also
is,
speaks to like the
before they would
experience,
use
like
something
my
like refunnel,
experience with
they
B2B
wouldn't offer
softwares.
anything as an incentive.
I
And so we try
very
to mold
rarely
them
do. I mean, I
towards
get tons of cold
that
emails, tons
direction.
of cold calls, stuff like that. Very rarely do I actually like take a meeting unless there's an incentive for it. So like a lot of people are offering gift cards for taking meetings, which usually ends up turning into a conversation that's valuable and potentially worth our time. But um, yeah, I
they're not giving
mean,
AirPods anymore?
no, right, right. No, but I definitely have a lot of Amazon gift cards, being
Nice.
a digital marketer for in e-commerce.
So I wanted to ask you, like, isn't $10 though, like, is that really getting people to make content? Are people that privy to such
Yeah.
a like low amount to make videos?
So we've never gotten someone to create content for us for $10. We have affiliates who I know there was recently a change on Google's algorithm where like some of our best affiliates stopped bringing in revenue, and they're
Yeah.
trying to lean into social media. So we offered like, hey. We'll whitelist your account, which is really a benefit to us, but it's also a benefit to them who are trying to grow their account, and they're creating content in exchange, and that's completely free for us. And those ads are directing to our site, not their safe link. That I would say that's like the closest to free, aside from people just sending in content and sharing content on social media, which happens often for free. But yeah, I mean, we've never successfully even attempted to be like, hey, $10, create some content.
Yeah. Yeah. So, hey, we have run hundreds of campaigns now with customers who use Refunnel to source content, and $10 or really anything less than $25. I've never seen that campaign go successful if if they're being so frugal about the incentive that they want to
Hmm.
give out. $50 is where we really start to see some good content coming in. 50
And
to
that's
$100
cash
is, I
or
think, a
store credit.
perfect
Like
sweet spot
what are the
for
options?
businesses that
Oh,
are
okay. So are
serious
you
and
upgrading
about
like the store
intentionally
credit or something?
generating
Like
a
if they
lot of
don't take
authentic
cash or
customer generated content. Um, and that's cash or store credit. Yes, yeah. So we gamify this experience. So for example, a brand might offer 100 in store credit or 50 in like a PayPal or an
so
Amazon
Kevin,
gift
I have a
card.
question like to follow up on
And
that.
so we
Like
give them
in
options
any
to
given
configure
campaign that you're
these,
doing, like what's the
different
average
payouts
amounts of
for,
content and
based on the
what kind of
selection that
creators
the
are you getting from?
customer
Are they
makes.
direct customers? Are they your Instagram followers? Like how does that breakdown look like? Like how are you targeting people for these campaigns?
Yeah, I mean, they're customers who haven't sent us content yet already. They're customers who, I mean, yeah, the targeting isn't super in details. It's iron neck customers or harness customers or whatever product we're aiming to get reviews on. It's that product segmented out as a customer list. Yeah, I can't give you too much. Like I don't have too much detail on the email side, but I do know. I mean, it's definitely a large list when we're receiving so much content when we send them out. So we also did the same thing, a very similar thing for we wanted to get additional answers to like a survey, kind of finish up a story that we started with our post-purchase survey and kind of get a better understanding of why people are purchasing or why people are waiting and holding out. And for that, we gave like a $20 Visa gift card, and that resulted in that was pretty successful as well. No UGC there, but I mean I'd fill out a survey for $20, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So you mentioned safe links. I'm going to transition a little bit more into the influencer and affiliate side of things outside of the UGC side. So people sharing their codes, links, etc. This is obviously the same shameless plug for Social Snowball, but how are you using Social Snowball today? And what does your commission structure typically look like? You don't have to give exact numbers, but are you giving rewards? Are you giving cash? Like, what does that look like with the influencers you're working with?
Yeah, so we're definitely giving cash. Social Snowball has been very valuable with the programs feature, like having all these different programs. So like we have programs for people who just fall into our Social Snowball, like as an affiliate who aren't really value add. Like maybe we give them zero commission unless we can verify that they're providing value to our company. But that includes like discount sites and stuff like that. That way they're not like scraping other people's links. We do give some affiliates their own code if like they don't have, their code hasn't been scraped or anything like that, because what it really comes down to is influencers really want a code. But we also really don't want to be paying out commission on, sales that aren't actually providing value to us, that are just scraped by all these discount code sites. So that's where Safe Links has really come in and added additional success to our affiliate program. We also do our influencer seeding through Social Snowball. So those programs that are, these influencers who are coming into our affiliate program via this seeding program, they receive a higher level of commission than our baseline commission that just, maybe blogs or something like that will receive, because that content is super valuable for us. And then also we kind of leave it in our terms and conditions that like, hey, whatever you post as a result of this partnership, like we have the rights to. So it's also valuable in that sense because they're checking a box when they sign up to be an affiliate with us. And when they sign up to be an affiliate with us through Social Snowball, that process of seeding a $0 product is automated for us. So it's a win-win. But yeah, that's how we've been using it on that end. And then of course, like there are some affiliates who have really provided a tons of value, and we see this more on like YouTube creators and stuff like that, because it's almost like it's an evergreen content that's organically showing up when you search something relevant. So there's like specific influencers who will receive a higher level of commission than our influencers that were originally seeded our product. So it definitely varies, and having the flexibility in Social Snowball to do that has been super valuable. So so that's going to be based off of the engagement and impressions that they've gotten on our existing content.
Would get higher tier
and I know Refunnel just came out with y'all just dropped
the other tiers
an awesome feature where you can view all of that in like this one single dashboard and look at each individual creator and kind of automate that process as well. So yeah, I mean it's really based on, have they provided value? Like have they brought in customers? Has it has it exceeded our initial seeded product? Like is our ROAS on that like 10? Okay, let's talk. We want you to post more content. So we want to incentivize you to do so, but we tend to only stay within the only cash. I know you guys just dropped in like a gift card or like store credit option, and they also have like Tremendous, which you can send out different types of gift cards to like Starbucks and Amazon. But we find that we stick to cash.
So I wanted to just jump back a little bit to what you were talking about earlier with identifying like what contents are like UGC content to run ads on, etc.? What type of metrics are you looking at? Because you mentioned thumb stops, you mentioned ROAS, etc. What are your core, let's say, 4 metrics that you're looking at to decide, hey, this is a good influencer or this is a good creator. I want to double down my partnership with this person.
Yeah, so there's different sides to it. There's like the advertising side that you just mentioned. That's going to be like spend, ROAS, CPA, thumb stop. I mean, the list goes on, hook rate, sustain rate, stuff like that. When it comes down to just overall influencer marketing, like organic efforts, that's going to be like how many impressions do they receive on this? Also, kind of going into the intro to that partnership is what is their average impression rate? Like, what is their average impressions across all of their content? Like on TikTok, you'll find that people have thousands of followers, hundreds of thousands of followers, sometimes even 1 million followers, but there's no consistency in the impressions or the views that they're receiving. So it's almost like, I'm gonna put this product on red, this product on black, and see what happens. But no, we want that consistency, and if we're gonna invest in a creator or an influencer outside of just a product seed and with an actual contract, then like they have to be having some sort of consistency there, or the content just has to be really fun. It has to be innovative and creative, something that we wouldn't have thought of.
The followers don't matter, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, followers are definitely, I mean, it's impactful. It's an impactful metric, but at the same time, I mean, some of our highest, that affiliate that I mentioned earlier that started posting and we're whitelisting with him, he's got like 3,000 followers right now, and it has some of the highest impressions across all of it's like the top content across all of our stuff in the last 30 days. So our tagged content in the last 30 days. So, yeah, I mean, it's an impactful metric, but it's not the most important metric by far.
Yeah, Atif, I wanted to ask you like the same follow-up question. Like, since you're working with so many brands and you're tracking all this data, like impressions, followers, etc., what types of influencers, I guess, should brands be looking at today to be reaching out to?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on the stage of the journey that the brand is on. If you're doing product seeding, for example, you almost never want to do these seeding campaigns with creators that I would say really start falling in beyond like the 50,000 followers range. In some cases, you can make some exceptions, but you definitely don't want to approach creators that have above 100,000 followers, because generally they would accept the gift if you're offering them something, but they're never going to create content for it. Or once they accept the gift, they're going to reach out to you and say, "Hey, these are my rates. This is what I would need in order to create content." It's really those micro and the nano influencers where you have the best hope of really engaging them to get the best content for your business. Typically, they would also be the kind of influencers who would become fans of your product. So not only are you more likely to get content out of them, but if you've done your product seeding campaigns right, and if you've picked the right creators, then those creators would often become long-term fans of your product as well. You won't just get one content out of them. If you build a relationship with them, make sure they are part of your affiliate community. They are going to be creating content for you over a long period of time. Because it's really coming again from that point of very authentic, sense of promotion, where they really feel that your product has made a difference for them. But across hundreds of brands that we have now that are running product seeding campaigns, I would say that one data point that we see consistently across most of these campaigns is that you really want to target those niche creators that have the right audience, that, where their audience has good affinity with the product that you're selling. And those are the creators that are likely going to be the best creators for you for those campaigns. Now, as those creators, are generating revenue for you, you can then,
I agree.
put them
And
on a
also
retainer,
to follow on that,
or offer them more cashback
it's not a
options
metric,
as well,
but
in addition to the commissions that they're getting.
you'll
But
see
really,
a better
that should
take
not be the
rate and
starting
better
point of the
success rate and
relationship.
like post rate on influencers who are creators who have shown other products in their feed before. Like there are NFL athletes that we'll seed to, not because we're expecting content, because like there's nothing on their feed that's them showing off any sort of content they received. I mean, products that they received. More so, we use that more so for the network. But like if we want content and an influencer hasn't posted another product on their feed, we're basically giving the product away, and there should be no expectation on our end that we're going to receive content.
Okay, so noted. So don't expect everyone to be posting content, or if so, really really good content. You're essentially giving out this product more for a networking, brand awareness play. And then the second thing is not like the top, like people with millions of followers aren't always the most productive in terms of this influencer seeding campaign. It seems like based off of what both of you are saying here. So
Yeah, totally. And we've also like we've some larger influencers that we've reached out to, like, hey, like we saw you got in this accident. Would you like an iron neck
Mm-hmm.
in exchange for like a story? Something very small like a story post. They agree to it. We send it to them, and we don't receive the content. So yeah, I mean that statement's so true.
yeah, I saw like Luka Doncic. So I went to Mavs game and I saw Luka Doncic wearing a Dad Gang hat, and I'm pretty sure Luka did not respond because I saw Bart like tweet it. Like he was like, "Oh crap! Like Luka's wearing our hat." We gave it to him, and I guess he's wearing it. And all these paparazzi took pictures, and that's how they blew up. And then they ran ads on that picture. So it could just be like luck of the draw, especially with like we're like sending free products to these athletes and stuff. I did want to ask, a little bit of a spicy question, but before I get in there, I know we're talking about a lot of how we go about doing things, right? Or rather, what we do. I want to ask how we do it. So, like, what's your tech stack look like from the affiliate or influencer like seeding aspect, identifying those people, organizing the content, reaching out, and communications, etc. What does that look like for you, Kevin?
Yeah, Atif's gonna laugh because I originally showed him when we were initially talking about Refunnel and onboarding with them. Go for it, go for it. You tell that story.
I want to pause on this. I want the story to be told exactly how it went. So Kevin, I'd love to. When Kevin and I connected, I think this was at the Fermat event in Austin. He didn't know I'm the founder of Refunnel, but we started to talk about influencer marketing and how he manages that. And then Kevin, I'd love for you to share the story of what you told me in
Yeah,
terms of the
it was
spreadsheet that you
rough.
had and
It
how
was
you were
rough.
managing everything with the
I
spreadsheet,
can't
and then
tell you the
paint a
exact
picture of how
story. It
you
was
were
a
doing
while
it
ago,
then,
but
and then what changed for the better when
yeah,
when you
I
started to
basically
use
showed him what we were doing
Refunnel.
in order to keep track of our influencer seeding initiatives, and I mean it's columns upon columns with color coding and conditional formatting, and going into these once they post and tracking that manually within Instagram, and trying to follow up if they don't, and it was messy. And when Atif told me that, yeah, Refunnel was like, I mean, it doesn't cost much at all. It's an amazing product that's super valuable, and it was almost impossible to say like, nah, like no, we had to onboard with Refunnel because like he gave us a little demo of it, and it was incredible. Like all of our past content showed up on there, all of the content moving forward showed up on there, and it was and I mean, like I said earlier, he has a feature now where it's got like a graph, and it shows how much or how many posts these influencers have, and that's not something we've had before. So I mean, we saved a lot of time there. So that's one piece of our tech stack, which is Refunnel, and it's getting a lot. It just keeps getting better. And then obviously, Social Snowball is a huge one for us. You guys did a case study with us on our GMV, on word of mouth and such. But one of the main metrics that has been a huge factor in our influencer seeding is the amount of time saved using Social Snowball. So yeah, I think I told you guys like 15 hours per month through automating product seeding through Social Snowball, and that's true. I mean,
Wow.
we used to send out a $0 invoice to our our head of finance, I'd call her, and then she would create an order for that, and then our operations manager would have to inform us on that, and then we'd have to update our sheets that I just talked about, and Yeah, and then we have to follow up with our people with with our influencers that we seeded to with an affiliate code.
Wow.
So we're saving a lot of time using Social Snowball for our product seeding. Another one that I definitely want to point out is like no commerce.
Hmm.
So when it not so much when it comes down to the effects of our UGC, but more so when it comes down to the effects of our influencers. They're not all like not all of them want to use links. They'd prefer to use codes, and sometimes they don't even want commission. Sometimes they just want to post and be honest with their customer or with their following and share their opinions on things. So when they show up in our post-purchase survey on no commerce, we're able to attribute additional revenue to these individuals that we can't get through their affiliate link. Also, word of mouth was last year in 2023. Word of mouth was the third highest source of revenue per our no commerce post purchase survey. So that's just another valuable tool that we have. And then of course, we use Triple Whale, we use Vermont, we used Prescient as our MMM for a while, and all good softwares. It's really what can you afford to use and stack on. There's so many softwares out there, and it's so hard to say no because you know that they're going to add value to your brand and add incremental revenue.
Awesome. So yeah, now I want to get into the spicy stuff. So you're working with a lot of influencers, you're working with a lot of creators. What turns you off when you're working with these people? And I want to hear the crazy influencer stories from the Iron Neck side.
Yeah, you kind of mentioned one earlier, which is I think it might have been Atif that mentioned it. It might have been you, but you know, people will fill out a form to like an inbound form to seed your product, and they're like, yeah, content for product, and then you reach out to them, and they're like, well, actually, my post costs this much, or a reel costs this much. I I despise that. Another one that we experienced was we noticed a pretty low take
Yeah.
rate, or sorry, a really low post rate um, on our seeding efforts in the past. So about a year ago, we tried to propose, hey, we'll seed you the product for 3 posts, and we just need you to sign a contract. Well, there are influencers who we've signed on, they've signed the contract and everything. We seeded them the product, and to this day, I mentioned this was last year. To this day, they still haven't posted, and we still follow up with them, every 3 months. So yeah, that's those are I guess I wouldn't necessarily call them spicy moments. I don't have too many experiences where an influencer's let us down in that sense, but yeah, that's one that I can think of off the bat so often.
The one that you just described happens so often that I feel like there really needs to be more awareness around this on the part of brands. Really, there's really almost zero return out of seeding to these big influencers with a larger following. They would take the product happily, but they would then send you the invoice
Yeah,
on how much they're going to charge for
I can't tell you
content
how
in
many
return.
times I
And
have brands on Social Snowball. They don't even
so hopefully
put
this is
any
something that
terms or
brands are going to
conditions,
become more
even though the
savvy of
feature
and
is
just
there.
focus more of their
That is so
efforts and
important to
energy into.
protect you as a business because you can upfront say, this is what we offer, this is what you're signing up for. Once you agree to this, you got to do it. Otherwise, our relationship is terminated. You got to send back the product, whatever it is, right? Especially with your high AOV, I can't imagine, like an Iron Neck being able to afford giving out $300 like AOV type products out for free to everyone willy
No,
nilly.
no, and we're the main product that we're giving away to influencers is our hero product, our $600 product. So
Damn,
cogs on that is triple digits.
I gotta
So
work on my following count, bro.
right,
Get
right.
jacked.
Yeah, I know, totally. But yeah, we do we do have a B2B business, and that's been helpful on
I'll make some
that.
content on tech neck, like, oh, I've been sitting on the
But
computer
they
all
have a
day
B2B
long and
business
my
as well,
neck
so
hurts.
Do
That's
it,
when I
do
started
it.
using Iron Neck. So we got a question actually from the audience. Ashley Thompson just asked, what would make for a good professional athlete to have market your product? What are the requirements you're looking for?
Yeah, so for our product specifically, that I could speak to. It's people who've gone through things like combat sports is a main segment for us. And uh, if you're a BJJ practitioner and you've hurt your neck and you're trying to rehabilitate your neck, or you're trying to strengthen your neck so you don't hurt it anymore, those are the people that are the influencers or professional athletes that are going to speak, uh, best to our product. We also have a partnership running right now with Terrell Owens, and that's really something that we're super grateful came into our hands, and it wasn't necessarily us reaching out to him. It was more of them reaching out to us, and he just liked the product. So I think the most value you're going to get, I would say the outbound strategy isn't necessarily as effective as the inbound strategy when it comes to professional athletes, because these guys are just like us in digital marketing. We're receiving cold emails across the board from all these different softwares. These athletes are receiving tons of product seeding opportunities from us. So it's the people who are actually interested that really want your product who are going to speak best to it. So that would be my best answer there.
And then how are you communicating with these people? Are you doing email, or are you using bots on
Yeah.
Instagram, like DMing? How does that look?
Yeah, we're definitely not using bots. We're not that high in advance, but we tend to DM. There's a feature, like the partnerships folder, I would call it, in Instagram now, that allows you to kind of be prioritized. That's been valuable to us. Yeah, I find that emails are just messy.
Yeah.
I mean, I my inbox is so ugly. It's like I have like 9,000, 10,000 emails that haven't been read. I'm definitely red flags there, I know, but
Yeah, I'm the same way. If I show you my inbox right now, I have 14,000 plus.
yeah,
It like doesn't even, it's just like 999 plus on my notification
exactly.
thing.
Exactly. Yeah, so one big thing I mentioned earlier is I want to see that they've posted content on other
Kevin, how do you find
products
the
in the
right
past.
creators to
I
work with?
I see. I see what you're asking. Yeah. So we're using like the
Hmm.
Facebook
Hmm. So
marketplace,
you're browsing them
Facebook
on
Creator
Instagram, or you're
Marketplace, which has
searching by
been
hashtags,
super
and that's how
valuable
you're
to us.
finding them?
I mean, we've tried other products like Grin and stuff like that, and it really just
Hmm.
comes down to it being too expensive. TikTok has a creator marketplace. Facebook has a creator marketplace. I think I read that YouTube's coming out with one, which is going to be awesome. To have. So, I mean, that's kind of how we do it. And then also, I think Heapsy has like a free feature. I mean, it's kind of limited, but like if you're really stranded there and those tools aren't working for you and you're looking for a little more, they have a free feature as well. But yeah, I mean, our bread and butter is that Facebook creator marketplace.
So I had a question about, actually, we just got a question here from LinkedIn. How are you guys transitioning high performing affiliates to a
Yeah.
paid retainer or hybrid model? And what does negotiation and management of these relationships look like?
Yeah, so it all depends on how much value we expect them to create for us. A really good example of this is an influencer we had, who's in like the tactical market. And he posted about us, and it had really good results at first. But he also receives a ton of products. So he has stories going out all the time on, this product, this product, this product. Check this out. We kind of leaned into him for the B2B segment, like the network that he has. So there was that feature as well, but he also created tons of content for us to use. He allowed us to come to events that he was at and shoot with him. Honestly, like we're not doing that many contracts right now. But if opportunities like that come across, we're definitely going to try to take advantage of it and negotiate. In the end, I mean, you want to look at stuff like your CPMs. How much impressions is this individual bringing in on their post, and does it beat your Facebook ads? So stuff like that.
I feel like a lot of people forget about how important impressions are, because especially with higher value products, it's not the first
Yeah.
time they click something that someone's going to buy. I think that's the common misconception now, especially on the SaaS side, right? For me, Atif, let's say Klaviyo, Attentive, whatever, I've seen, and then like you came to another event and then we met again and you may have got an cold email from like someone on my sales team and then you saw like an ad or whatever. It takes like 4 to 5 multi-touch like things, and I feel like influencer marketing is one of those touches that a lot of brands are just jumping into now, which is, you know, at such a highly competitive time. I'm seeing influencers with 10,000 followers or 15,000 followers charging like $1,000 to $1,500 a post now, because they figured it out. They're like, oh, you know, we have power now, because if our content pops off,
Yeah.
which it can because of the For You pages and the algorithm switches, influencers can bring a lot of money, and more money than what paid ads would have brought, because there's that word of mouth um, factor to it. Atif, I wanted
Exactly.
to ask you on your side, like how how much traction are you getting at Refunnel for this demand of like UGC?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is probably the peak traffic we've ever gotten on our website over the last few weeks. I think there are a few reasons for that. A lot of brands are starting to prepare for Black Friday, and they want to make sure that their UGC strategy is in place so that they have the best creatives to be able to use during that time period. But yeah, I mean, the number one reason why somebody comes to Refunnel is, it's really because they are getting all this content that they don't know exist. They're getting all these stories that their community is mentioning them in. Those stories are expiring in 24 hours, and they want a system that is going to be able to make sure that it can track all that content. Or the other reason they come to us is, they have an event coming up or they have a campaign coming up, and they really want to make sure that they can activate their community to get exactly the right kind of content, and they want management of payouts and management of content around that. Those are really the use cases that we are able to fulfill very easily. But yeah, I mean, I think it's really heartening to see how savvy brands are becoming about the need for something like this in their creative strategy. That they need like high
Kevin
quality
mentioned
UGC,
something
but
really cool
authentic
before:
UGC that they're
white
going to be able
labeling
to use for whatever
the
campaigns
creator,
that they're
incentivizing
planning
the fact
for,
that, hey, we're going to run
that they're
ads
planning
on
to do
your
coming up.
profile. You are going to gain that visibility in front of all these people that we're running ads against.
Mm,
You may or may not get followers out of that. How does establishing that relationship look like, Kevin? Because I'm starting to see more and more brands do it. I want to do it
yeah.
myself as a SaaS company, but I really don't know where to start or how to set up that relationship.
Yeah, so my experience with whitelisting is a little limited with Ironneck. I also own an agency, and um, I I've done more whitelisting through those brands. It tends to just be the smaller creators that are more open to it, that are just trying to grow their following. But that's not limited. It's not limited to that at all. I know. I mean, you can include it in your negotiations in a partnership, like a contract partnership, and that's kind of the easiest way to go about it. However, if you're looking to for more of like a affordable option for yourself, because obviously, like it's these influencers account that they have worked really hard to grow. So once you have access to run ads on their account, like that's their credibility that you're putting spend behind, and could also, you know, change things on. So yeah, when it comes down to like more affordable options, it's looking for those lower followed creators, and leaning into that idea that, hey, I'm gonna put thousands of dollars behind your account. You're gonna gain a following, and even if you don't gain a following, you're gaining engagement on your content. People are gonna see your face. Like, my CPMs are this, and I'm gonna put this, like, this is the minimum that I will spend across your account. So usually that's super exciting for them, especially if they're in the stage of growing their following. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
We see a lot of white labeling happening on TikTok these days, partly because TikTok has made it really simple to white label creator and affiliate videos. And Refunnel is able to assist with that a lot as well, because we've recently introduced this ability to get spark codes for those TikTok videos so that you can, run those videos as ads. and it's like it's been a couple of weeks since
That's
we
an
launched it,
amazing
and it's
feature. I did
taken,
not know you guys had
you
that.
know, the traction on that
That's
has been
awesome.
incredible.
I guess you guys are talking after this
That's
call now to
another
get that set up.
cheap use case that we've been able to absorb recently.
So TikTok Shops, guys. I know we're 6 minutes close to ending this lovely conversation, but I wanted to ask about TikTok Shops. Is Iron Neck on it? How has it been performing for you?
We're on and off. I'll be honest, we've struggled to just keep our products on TikTok Shop. And I'm sure someone's gonna see this and reach out to me in LinkedIn or something like that. But we've struggled to keep our products on TikTok Shop because there's keywords like neck pain and improving posture and stuff like that kind of throws red flags when it comes down to marketplaces like that. So on and off. Our harness strategy sits in TikTok, so like those are a lower AOV. I mean, that's like $50 to $90. We even have a lower price product than that. So and that did pretty well. We offered like a 30% discount on TikTok alone on those, and yeah, I think like Triple Well reported like a 1.7 ROAS on that, which is to this date our best effort on TikTok. But yeah, I mean, we'd love to be able to run Iron Neck on TikTok Shop, and even if it's just organic, I mean, our organic stuff has done pretty well, but like I said, people aren't purchasing the Iron Neck through TikTok Shop because we can't keep the listing active.
Yeah, so I guess like these like healthcare keywords can skew, I guess, the products that they put on. So, how much product are you guys giving out on TikTok for TikTok Shops? So Sohan, great question. Kevin just mentioned that they're not really too active on TikTok Shops because of some of the issues or rules that TikTok Shops has in place for brands and what products that they can place based on certain keywords. So keywords that Iron Neck are typically using are posture, something health related, like, so it does mess up it for them. So if anyone has a solution in this who's listening, feel free to reach out to Kevin because he's looking for some TikTok Shop help here.
Yep.
Awesome.
I will add though, like we are seeding to influencers on TikTok. We're just struggling to sell the product in TikTok specifically, but like we are seeding to TikTok shops. I mean to TikTok influencers, but we most of our seeding happens on Instagram and YouTube.
Awesome. So we have 3 minutes left, and I wanted to give both of you guys the chance to give one piece of parting advice to the people listening. What has been the most, I guess, mission critical thing that you've done that's helped you succeed at what you're doing today?
I mean, I think I'll go first. I think we've done a couple of things that have helped us do really well recently. We've identified a very, very painful problem for a lot of marketers, especially marketers running these community programs at scale, and built an extremely simple yet elegant solution to solve that problem. There's a lot going on behind the scenes in Refunnel, which makes the whole product extremely complex to build. But we have made sure that our customers don't experience that complexity, that it's all abstracted for them. Just finding that balance has been tricky, but so far we've done that right. So, I think we were fortunate that I was in the right place in the right time to find this specific problem that we were able to build a business around. But we have worked extremely hard to build a solution
what about you, Kevin?
that works.
Yeah, I'd say if you have a
seamlessly
product
and
that solves a
elegantly
problem,
behind the scenes as it does. And that's something that I'm very proud
like
of.
you're not getting content from your customers, you need to be actively trying to. Yeah, I mean the effect that just hearing from our customers and talking about the different products that they've had and being able to address these objections that our customers have prior to purchase and that keeps them from purchasing for so long is super valuable. For us, it's $50 gift card. But yeah, I would say definitely lean into your customers for content, especially if you have a problem or a solution to a problem.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for spending about an hour, a little bit over an hour, because we did meet a little bit earlier before this on the call today. And thank you to everyone who was listening. Kevin, how can people connect with you?
Yeah, connect with me on LinkedIn. I probably should have had a a list of things here, but you could also find me on Twitter or X at Kev Heuer. And yeah, definitely feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions.
All right, I'm gonna put this in here. So at Kev Heuer, boom. All right, guys, shoot him a follow on Twitter and search him up on LinkedIn. Connect with him. What about you, Atif?
Yeah, so I'm on both LinkedIn and Twitter. I'll say Twitter. I refuse to acknowledge it as X, but it is my handle is
Awesome. All right, thank you
Atif
guys for listening.
_RZ.
Thank you too for both
I think
joining
that's true on
and
both
looking forward
LinkedIn and
to
X. So that's where you
potentially
can
getting on
find
this
me.
again.
And
Bye-bye.
yeah.
Awesome. Thank y'all.